In our We're Open feature, we usually introduce you to a store or an attraction, but today it's something a little different.
It is a service that doesn't have a shop or a store, but the product can be seen all over the place. Here's Rob Westerby.
What we're talking about is Sinister Paint, the business of artist Chad Kidder. He's an airbrush artist. His work is not what you could expect from a typical artist, but you probably have seen his work on motorcycles, helmets, and guitars.
It's not all airbrush. The base coats and the primers are done with the big guns in my spray booth in the other room, but all the artwork is all airbrush. Well, what I like about airbrushing is the way that you can layer it and the way it blends in together, you can get very realistic images. It dries faster, it's just easier. You don't get brush strokes, you don't get lines. If you tried to oil paint something on the side of a motorcycle, once you clear coated it, it wouldn't look very good because you could see the brush strokes in it. With an airbrush, you have what's called trigger control. So you push down for air and you pull back for paint. Well, you have to keep that muscle memory tuned, because if you pull back too far, too much paint will come out. You have to keep that in your mind. So I practice every day. Depending on what I'm doing, if I'm doing a canvas, I'll stick to products like Createx water-based, waterborne paints. If I'm doing helmets and motorcycles and guitars, something that's going to be, beat up and touched a lot, I stick to automotive type paints. It lasts long and it's very durable. I'm very blessed in having as much support as I have. I have the support of some very big companies out there that supply me with what I need. I pay for it, it's not free. They post my work on their business page as an example of how to use their products. A lot of times I'll get requests for landscapes. I don't do landscapes and I don't do pets. And I try to steer away from portrait work. The problem with portrait work is there is almost zero artistic freedom in it. You have to, of course, paint it to make it look like the person, and they're usually memorial pieces. This is my dad who's passed away. Can you paint him on the fender of my motorcycle? I would hold myself accountable for if it didn't come out exactly look like the father. So I tend to turn those jobs down. The only way to succeed in a business like this is social media, unfortunately, and word of mouth. That's big. If a bike that I painted shows up at a charity biker event, it gets a lot of attention.
It is a home-based business in Hastings. The best ways to reach Sinister Paint, you can Google the word airbrushing and they will be the first company that pops up. Or their website, sinisterpaint.com, or the Sinister Paint Facebook and Instagram feeds. Keep up with businesses that are open in West Michigan and our coverage. Go to fox17online.com/open. I'm Rob Westerby.